Story 1. Massacre Real Cabin Creek Carnage. As I sit here, pen trembling in my hand, I feel compelled to recount the harrowing events that unfolded at Cabin Creek. The memories haunt me like a ghostly specter, refusing to fade into the recesses of my mind. It all began innocently enough, with 3 friends embarking on a weekend getaway to the secluded cabin nestled deep within the woods. Sarah, Mark, and Alex had been inseparable since childhood, their bond unbreakable, or so they thought. The cabin, a rustic retreat owned by Sarah's family, held the promise of solace and serenity. Little did they know that it would become the stage for a twisted tale of betrayal and bloodshed. The first night passed uneventfully, laughter and camaraderie filling the air. But as the shadows lengthened and the moon rose high in the sky, a sense of unease settled over us like a shroud. It started with subtle whispers in the darkness, words that seemed to slither into our minds, planting seeds of doubt and fear. Sarah was the first to succumb to the sinister influence that permeated the cabin. Her once bright eyes now clouded with paranoia, she accused Mark and Alex of plotting against her, their friendship nothing but a facade. The air crackled with tension, thick and suffocating, as accusations flew like poisoned arrows. I tried to mediate, to bring reason to the chaos that threatened to consume us. But my words fell on deaf ears, the bonds of friendship shattered beyond repair. And then, in a moment of madness, violence erupted like a volcano, spewing forth its molten fury. I watched in horror as Sarah, eyes wild and unfocused, lunged at Mark with a kitchen knife glinting in her hand. The metallic tang of blood filled the air as the blade found its mark, sinking deep into flesh and bone. Alex, paralyzed with shock, could only watch as the scene unfolded before him, a nightmare brought to life. The cabin walls bore witness to the carnage that ensued, the once pristine floors now slick with crimson. In the end, only one of us emerged from that night of terror, the echoes of betrayal ringing in their ears like a macabre symphony. As I sit here, pen now still in my hand, I offer this cautionary tale to those who dare to tread where friendships falter and trust falters. For in the heart of darkness, even the closest of friends can become the deadliest of foes. Anonymous Spectator Story. Story 2. Verdict in the Shadows of Friendship Betrayal at the Cabin. The cold wind howled through the dense forest, carrying whispers of treachery and deceit. As I approached the secluded cabin deep in the woods, a sense of foreboding gripped my heart. The cabin stood as a silent witness to the dark events that had unfolded within its walls, events that would forever haunt the memories of those involved. 3 friends, once inseparable, had gathered at the cabin for a weekend getaway. Mark, the charismatic leader of the trio, exuded an air of confidence that masked his inner demons. Sarah, with her piercing gaze and sharp wit, often found herself caught in the crossfire of Mark's manipulative schemes. And then there was Alex, the quiet and observant one, whose loyalty to his friends would be tested in ways he could never have imagined. As the night descended, tensions simmered beneath the surface, fueled by long-buried resentments and unspoken truths. The crackling fire cast eerie shadows on the walls, mirroring the twisted dynamics of their friendship. It was then that Mark revealed his true intentions, a betrayal so heinous that it shattered the fragile bond between them. A deadly feud erupted in the cabin, each friend grappling with their own moral compass as they navigated the treacherous waters of betrayal. Sarah's accusations cut like knives, Alex's silence spoke volumes, and Mark's facade crumbled to reveal the darkness that lurked within his soul. The cabin became a battleground, echoing with the cries of anguish and the clash of wills. In the shadows, secrets long buried clawed their way to the surface, exposing the raw nerve of their friendship. The line between right and wrong blurred, morality twisted by the weight of their sins. As dawn broke, the cabin bore witness to a verdict rendered in blood and tears. The echoes of their deadly feud reverberated through the forest, a chilling reminder of the price of betrayal. And as I stood outside the cabin, a silent spectator to the horrors that had unfolded within, I knew that the shadows of friendship betrayal would forever haunt those who had dared to tread its dark path. Anonymous Spectator Story. Story 3. Vanishing at Silent Lake, a tale of betrayal and mystery. I always thought our friendship was unbreakable, a bond forged in childhood that was supposed to withstand the test of time. But as we stood on the shores of Silent Lake that fateful day, I realized how wrong I was. The lake was eerily calm, its surface reflecting the dark clouds above like a mirror. We had come here to reminisce about the good old days, to relive our memories of carefree summers spent swimming and laughing until our stomachs hurt. But as the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the water, a sense of unease crept over me. It started with a simple disagreement, a clash of egos that quickly escalated into a full-blown argument. Harsh words were exchanged, accusations thrown like daggers, and before I knew it, the three of us were standing at the edge of the lake, consumed by anger and resentment. I watched in horror as the situation spiraled out of control, each of us blinded by our own pride and stubbornness. And then, in a moment of madness, it happened. A shove, a scream, and suddenly one of us was gone, swallowed by the murky depths of Silent Lake. The shock of what had just transpired left us speechless, our minds struggling to comprehend the gravity of our actions. But as the realization sank in, fear took hold. We were no longer friends bound by loyalty and trust. We had become enemies in a twisted game of betrayal and deceit. Days turned into weeks, and the authorities found no trace of our missing friend. Silent Lake held its secrets close, refusing to give up the truth of what had really happened that day. Guilt weighed heavy on my soul, a constant reminder of the irreversible damage our feud had caused. As I stand here now, on the desolate shores of Silent Lake, I can't help but feel the presence of something sinister lurking beneath the surface. The mystery of the vanishing remains unsolved, a haunting reminder of the consequences of our actions. And so, I leave you with this cautionary tale, a warning to those who dare to let betrayal and hatred poison their hearts. For in the end, it is not the lake that swallows the unwary, but the darkness that resides within us all. Anonymous Spectator Story.